Now, I've read a number of articles in various publications where people are questioning what a freeman is, and the newspapers define a freeman and state that a freeman rejects the laws of Canada. This is an out-and-out lie. We are not someone who rejects the laws of Canada. It's a very deceptive choice of words. No freeman says that, and it is not our position. It's what people who wish to denigrate our position assign to us. That wording and the inherent deception behind it, that's what we reject. When they actually say the laws of Canada, they're referring in a large part, to statutes and regulations which are created under the law. These are simply not laws. So one, as a freeman on the land, we distinguish between laws and statutes. The first being those rules we are all obliged to follow, and which allow the government and the courts to exist, and which bind the police and the people in the government and the courts, and the statutes, which are really just the rules created by the government in order to govern their agents, employees, and their wards. Having generated an inordinate amount of words to govern themselves and calling it statutes, they have tricked people into accepting their rules as the law. And now they seem to wish to claim that while we are under their rules, they are above the law. So a freeman distinguishes between statutes and law. And the fact is, many of these statutes, they are only applicable if and only if certain situations are established and prerequisites are met first. And many of these situations require the prerequisite of your consent to establish. Now, at this point, police will often demand to see evidence of the prerequisite because they wish to punish for a transgression of the situation. But they don't even know if the situation was transgressed because they don't know if the prerequisite was met. Second, having distinguished between statutes and law, a freeman has taken the necessary steps to change the association and relationships which exist between himself and the people in the government and the courts, and thus modifying his duties to them. Instead of acting like a child and expecting the government to take care of him, he claims the rights to exist much as his forefathers did, instead of either as an agent, an employee, or a ward of the state. And of course, many seem to fear this way of existing. So as a freeman on the land, we aren't rejecting the laws of Canada. What we do is we actually distinguish between the law and between the statutes. And we recognize that the statutes are not automatically applicable to us. They require action on our part in order for a contract to be created and for duties to exist. We love the law, and we just wish the people in the government and the courts loved it as much as us. And we reject the statutes which rely on deception. If what they were selling was such a good thing, why do they need so much deception to sell it? There has to be a better way. I know that my grandfather would be very unhappy with this state of affairs, considering the fact that his oldest son joined the army in order to ensure this didn't come about.